It's been my worst season ever, but 1 week can change everything in FPL, and this is my one and only team selection video for Game Week 27. Welcome to the Gianni YouTube show. Hope you guys are well. You enjoyed that high score in Game Week 26. Game Week 27 is just around the corner though, so we've got to move fast. It's a Tuesday deadline. I've got lots to consider with my team. Captaincy is a big discussion this week. It's Palmer versus Salah. Got some stuff to show you there. But also, we've got to talk about my transfer plans and my chip strategy, because I'm looking at a free hit in 29, and therefore buying Crystal Palace players might make sense to me. We'll talk about that in just a sec. But if you're interested in my team for 27, skip the next 5 minutes of this video. If you want to hear about my game week just gone, stay where you are. And guys, I'm doing it. I don't usually start my team selections this way, but I said earlier in the season when I've had my worst season ever, that I'm not going to go through my team when it's in the 1 millions, because I don't think it's of much interest. It's often different scores and players to what you've got, but also I just couldn't be bothered with all the hate in the comments, to be honest. Like, oh, content creator telling us what to do, he's at 1.2 million. So I make a point every video of saying my rank, but because I'm not hiding from that by any stretch. I just didn't want to go through my team in detail when it was so bad, because I didn't think it was great for you lot, but also it opened up a can of worms in terms of trolls and hate, to be quite frank. Now, I'm still having a terrible season. My rank is still, quite frankly, embarrassing. But off the back of a big green arrow, I want to talk through my decisions and a little bit about the risk I'm taking this season. And for once, it paid off, which is quite nice. So yeah, now we're into the millions. We'll glance at my team from the weekend just gone. But seeing as it's Sunday and I'm uploading this video on Sunday night, again, more reason to talk about the game week just gone. It's actually relevant for once. Usually my team selections are later in the week, and we don't want to look back at 5-6 days ago. So, big decisions were, I obviously went Glasner, and the assistant manager chip has been kind to me. If you went Emery, and then you went, Moyes, Emery, Glasner, like I did, 56 points, massive. And this chip is all about risk. If you've still got the chip this season, go for it. Go for the mid-table bonus. It's absolutely worth it for me. Like, I don't think these managers should be cheaper than Slot and Pep and Arteta. If anything, they should be more expensive. Christ, they shouldn't have a value. Make them all the same value or get rid of value. But these are the managers that will get you the big points. And I think it's worth the gamble if planned properly. In terms of my decision this week, I went huge in terms of, like, gamble. Glasner in, triple Palace. I bought in Mateta. I brought in Mateta because I'm happy to go big on Crystal Palace because I've committed to a free hit in 29. We'll talk more about that in a second. But I also captained Isak, which looked brilliant off 2 returns. But Salah does Salah things, and it just shows back against Salah at your peril. But again, happy with the decision there. I also benched Mikalenko when everyone said bench Manoz or bench Lewis Hall. I put polls out in my live YouTubes. Again, that paid off. So just backing your gut, playing a little bit different can work. It can also backfire, but this is hopefully just a call to action for you guys. If ever you're not sure and you're worried about missing out, or you're worried about being too different with your decisions, sometimes you've just got to have fun with it. And I've guilt-free rolled the dice this week, and it's worked off. In terms of my team for 29, I committed to Mateta in, which meant I was committing to free hit. Now, the teams we know do not play in 29, I'm heavily invested in already. Liverpool players, I've got 2. Newcastle players, I've got 2. Villa players, I've got 2. And Crystal Palace players, I've now got 2. Like, straight away, the other 4 teams blanking. And we look at these Game Week 29 fixtures. I can have fun with a free hit here. I can still have fun with a free hit. For many of you, it won't be the week to free hit. You'll be able to field 10 or 11 players. I can't, and I like the fact I can hold all my Newcastle, Palace, Liverpool players. I might sell a Villa player or 2. But they've got good fixtures around this week. And I still look at free hit here and think, I can still go big on Man City and gamble. I can bring in Man United players for Leicester because it's Leicester. I can avoid the Arsenal-Chelsea fixture. I can maybe gamble on Everton at home to West Ham and Bournemouth at home to Brentford. We'll see. Wolves again, I can go big on them. So I don't mind the free hit at all. But look, many of you are here for my team section for Game Week 27. I just wanted to start with that because I don't usually. But like and subscribe if you're new around here. I would love you to support my journey, the channel's journey. We're 2 years old this month, this channel. And I know you've seen me on YouTube for years, some of you, on different channels. And I foolishly never set up my own channel. But here I am now with my own YouTube channel. And this is where I think you'll get the best content from me. I still contribute to Chasing Green Arrows and Scout, and I love that. But this is where I put a huge amount of time and effort with almost, at times it feels like daily videos. So thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. If you do want even more videos, I do have a membership offering. You can see the details on screen. It's you can sign up as a squad or an ultra. The benefit of being a member is you're supporting the channel. But also, I will get back to all your comments anytime in a live chat or on a video. If you've got a question about your team or anything, drop a comment and I'll always make sure I get back to all channel members as a priority. I try and get back to as many questions as I can regardless. So look, here's my team. Whew, let's get to it, Gianni. You've been rambling on for 6 minutes and still not got to your team. What even is this? So look, here we are. 1.4 million in the bank. And we've all got a bit of money now in the bank if we use the assistant manager chip, haven't we? Because that's come back into our bank. And I've got a free transfer. And I might have to use it this week. The plan wasn't to use it, but I might just be forced to use it because I've got a few doubts over a few of my players. So if I run through my team, for those listening on podcast, it's Pickford in goal. Back three of Rico, Lewis, Munoz and Trent. At the moment, I've got Mikalenko and Lewis Hall benched. In midfield, I've got Palmer with an unbelievable fixture, but Chelsea are struggling. Dango, Salah, and Enzo. Now, Enzo, we're going to put a little warning flag by because I saw Enzo at the end of the game pull up. Now, it wasn't mentioned on comms, it wasn't mentioned post-match, but it looked like he could have tweaked a hamstring. Who knows? He could be absolutely fine. I'm waiting for the press conference news there. And then I've got a front three of Watkins with Isak. And then, who else have I got up front? Watkins, Isak, oh, of course, my boy Jean-Philippe Mateta. So, again, Isak went off with 5 minutes left. Callum Wilson came on. We saw Isak holding his back. Again, we don't have an injury update. I expect he'll be fine. I'm just going to put a little warning flag on Isak as well. Now, if we hear in the press conference that Isak or Enzo are injured, I've got a little bit of an issue because I've got Morgan Rogers, first sub, who again is actually flagged by FPL. Unlike Enzo and Isak, he's actually flagged. So again, if Enzo's out, I've got a big decision to make with my team. So let me tell you my transfer in just a sec. Before I do though, I want to just throw the attention to the Chelsea average position map last time out, because many are looking at captaincy with Palmer, but buying a Chelsea midfielder, because Chelsea play Southampton at home and Leicester at home next. Now say what you want about Chelsea, and they are bad, but Southampton and Leicester are the two worst teams in the league by some distance. Chelsea should win both games convincingly. They're both at Stamford Bridge. Many are looking to buy an extra Chelsea midfielder, and I completely understand why. Pedro Neto played up front against Villa. He had a really good first half. He got the assist. This is the average position map. We see Neto really high. By the way, this is the ugliest average position map from between the posts you'll ever see. It looked like two different teams, not connected at all. But Pedro Neto worked for Villa. He was running in behind. We know Villa play a high line, especially at home. And the balls over the top to Neto worked a treat in the first half. And Chelsea were quite good in the first half. Just because it worked against Villa doesn't mean Maresca will set up the same way against Southampton or Leicester, where they'll be deeper and they're away from home and you'll think they'll try and park the bus. It could be Palmer up top, it could be Nkunku up top, it could be Jadon Sancho up top, or it could be Pedro Neto up top. We don't know, but don't buy Pedro Neto thinking he's going to play the number 9. There is a good chance he doesn't. He will start though, if he's fit. He'll start out wide if not. And he's still a good buy, Pedro Neto. I prefer him to Nkunku, purely as a value option. If fit though, assuming everyone's got Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez is a really good own. He was a good FPL option at the weekend against Villa. He scored a goal, but he missed a big chance too. He's getting into good possessions. Most XG chain we see there on the left, Enzo Fernandez. He was brilliant. He was Chelsea's best player. I really hope he's fit because he's in my team. So when we go back to my team, I've got Enzo in the starting 11, right? I've got Rodgers on the bench. If Enzo is out and Rodgers is out too, I have to make a transfer because I don't really want to have to using that. I don't really want to have to chuck a Mikalenko in that team or a Lewis Hall who plays Liverpool. And if that's the case, I have got the exact funds, 1.4 million and one free transfer to bring in Eberechi Eze. Now, you might be like, Gianni, are you mad? Why would you bring in Eze? Like, that's not an obvious buy. And it won't be an obvious buy for many because they'll look at Eze and go, doesn't play in game week 29. And fair enough. Most of you are buying players that you know play in 29 because it's a blank game week. I've committed to free hit. Now, to fully make the most of that, it probably makes sense for me to try and be a bit different and target Palace players. I want a third Palace player by game week 28. Maybe not by 27 this week. They play Villa at home. But in 28, they play Ipswich at home. And then after the blank, in 30, they play Southampton. Look at these fixtures for Eze. It's a great run. Oh, and then in 31, it's Brighton. Fine. 32, it's a double. Now, the only teams doubling in 32 as things stand are Palace and Newcastle. Makes sense, right? I've got the exact funds. So I'm really tempted on Rodgers to Eze. And if I could do that move and bench Enzo Fernandez, but it just doesn't make any sense to do it this week. I've got the exact funds, but I can afford a price drop on Morgan Rodgers and still get the same selling price. And Eze isn't likely to rise anyway. So I can hold on this move, or if my hand is forced, I can make it. Remember, there's a lot of time now between Aston Villa and Ipswich. There's the FA Cup round for Palace. And then we'll know a little bit more about possible doubles in 33. So Eze is high on my watch list, and that is a move I could make. Other than the Eze move, I can't see myself making a transfer this week. Even if Isak was out injured, I'd be keeping him. So that's where I'm at so far with my moves. You've seen my team. What about captaincy? Now, guys, if you are enjoying the video, I would love you to hit those buttons. Thank you, as always, for supporting the channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Now, I did a couple of tweets earlier. Just said we're going to see split opinion on captaincy for 27. Palmer, Southampton, Salah, Newcastle. It's a split pot for many. It's a perfect form versus fixtures. I thought, let's poll it. Now, I polled this at the start of the Liverpool game. And at the time, the early votes were going to Palmer. They really were. Like, Palmer was something like 60-40. And then Salah scored. And then he got the assist. And all of a sudden, we're now seeing Salah again returning. We know he's got Newcastle at home. You're looking at it's going to be between 60 and 70%. Salah's going to be scarily high owned, and it's going to be backing the form and just saying he's inevitable. He's just got big points against City. He gets a couple of returns every game. Newcastle just conceded to Forest, 2-3 goals. Back Salah, and I must admit, I think that's where I'm at. Whilst I expect Palmer, I expect Chelsea to convincingly beat Southampton. Salah's routes to points at the minute are insane. They can be bobbled deflections. They can be worldy finishes. They can be pens. They can be scrambly tap-ins. He's everything in terms of the XG, the output of this Liverpool team. So I think I'll be going Salah, but again, I could have a late change of plan, and I will be doing a deadline stream on Tuesday. I'm also going to be talking to, he was the world #1 last week. As I record this, we don't know exactly where he is, but he's going to be still in and around that sort of top 3, top 4, top 5. Make sure you come and see my chat with Max tomorrow. That will be out on this channel, and I'll talk more about captaincy with him on that show. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit all the buttons on the way out. Thank you for your support. We're 2 years old, this channel, and absolutely love it that you guys come and watch me, whether I'm at 2 million rank or at 700-800k. It shouldn't make a difference, because hopefully the advice I give is still of some value to you. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.